Right. I mean, this could be done entirely with gradients and one element. So what I'm looking at is you'd have to you have to restrict it. So I'd have to do it on the body, I think, and then do some margin. No, that won't work. So what I could do is, you know, if the edges were like so, then you could do a radial gradient and position it down here and have it repeat across that axis and not the vertical axis. This could be a linear gradient where it's the dark and then a transparent. The radial gradient is where I would get all of the beige color expanding out beyond those circles. I'd do that as the third color stop, you know. And then this block, that probably has to be a conic gradient. And then that's actually the trickiest one. Let's see, if I did a conic gradient, I just do no repeat on it. Size it and no repeat. And it's done. Now, that being said, a gradient approach is not the way to do this. Not entirely. I think the circles absolutely should be a sized radial gradient. And I think it should be on the HTML element. I think we might be able to do the BG color trick, you know, for on the element itself. I will see if I can pull it off. I have not done it yet. Let's see. Let's just throw in a radial. Let's start with the radial gradient. I think it's going to be the easiest one to sort of arrange. And then I'm going to, what I'm going to do is the HTML element, I'm going to shrink down to this size here so that I can, actually, I might make it just this size of these three gradients. Yeah, because then I can just do a linear gradient with, well, I still have to do sizing. Linear or conic. But anyways, I think if I do it this size, I can do a single box shadow for this thing here, and then another box shadow for all of the beige. So that's my idea. Radial gradient, we're going to do 20 pixels, and we'll clean this up in a moment, but we have to put the color first before our color stop. Of course. 20 pixels, and then we're going to do dark for 0, 40 pixels, and then we're going to go back to this. Okay, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be like 50. Yeah, that looks about right. Now, let's go ahead and box shadow. It's going to be, I think the second one goes on top, but we're going to find out. We're going to go 0, 0, 0, and then 5-inch. I don't know, just some massive box shadow of that color. And then when we margin it down, here, let's throw a border on it too, so we can see it better. All right, so we have our border there. There we go. 100. Okay. Let's push it all the way down. So it's gonna be like 130. It's gonna be more than that, but let's give ourselves our edges first. 50, 60. There we go. So we have the right constraints there. Bottom is gonna be like 80. 85? 90. Okay, something like that. And the top will be 140. All right, I'm gonna get rid of our 2 pixels solid red. There we go. Let's move our donut. Let's see, position first, and then we'll size it so that we get the repeat going properly. So it's gonna be like 20 pixels by 50 pixels. Nope. 80, 20, 10, okay, 20, 30. that's making repeat vertically. I'll change the vertical repeat. 30, 40. Okay, so that's pushing it off of center. I wonder if I should use the at first. I think I should use the at sizing first and then size it, and that'll actually make it easier. At 20 pixels, yeah, there we go. 40, 50, there we go, that's nice. And then 50, 60, 70, okay, 70, there we go. And then we can just go a 0 slash to size this 100 pixels. All right, 150, 160, 170, 180. There we go. Real easy. So 180 divided by 20, so 45 VW. 45 VW. There we go. And I know this one can be 5 VW. Just gonna do it right now while I can. 50 pixels would be 10.5, so too many characters to change it to VW, but I gotta find a good one for those that's divisible by 10. I could probably change it to Q. I'm gonna save that actually for later at the moment. So this, let's do our next box shadow. Oops, I don't need to do anything. I just need to say 0 and then like negative 30 pixels and the dark color. And we don't see anything because that one needs to be first. Control X. There we go. And let's walk it up a little bit more. Beautiful. And let's look at that. See? Our little box shadow. So we have one big beige box shadow and then that littler square, which is our dimensions were this thing. And so we're mirroring this, you know, this is our first box and then that's the box shadow that we're creating from it. Now I just need to add a linear gradient to my box. And we are off to the races. So let's stack our backgrounds. This one needs to be first. We're going to find out real fast whether this is in the right spot, but it's easy to move, right? So we're going to say 90 degrees because default is top to bottom. We don't want that. We are going to do transparent because it's a little bit shorter than the color. And if we did the color, if we did it on bottom, it's fine. If it's on top, it doesn't work. But either way, we want transparent. Either way, actually, it can be top or bottom. It won't matter for this particular thing. So let's say 90 pixels. Just because I know our spacing is 180. Well, it was 180 right here. So I imagine, you know, it's 180 to there. So I'm splitting it. It's probably wrong. Let's do this. And then it's going to be like 120. Let's say it's 30 pixels across, right? And then we are going to do transparent again. And let's see what we can see. Absolutely nothing. That's right, because it's underneath, and this is solid beige showing up. So it's covering it. So let's move it. Real easy to do. There it is. Okay, I forgot a 0 somewhere. That, and then 0, 50, Y. Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. 90 pixels, transparent. And then, yeah, there's my missing 0. There it is. Okay, let's walk up the far corner first so we don't erase the, you know, hide it. And then we can walk up the lower one. 110. We are too tall of an element. Why is it so tall? Let's give it some more margin. I thought I had shrunk it down just to those circles. So let's look at this top. Interesting. I can move the circles up still, and I think So like this, I can just be 50, yep. And this, we can be 30, 50, 60, 70. Okay, that's still, everything still works there. It was just, I thought I had my box sized properly. So now we're good. Let's hit submit. Let's see if anything's messed up on this. We do have those lines there, and we're good. We're golden. Okay. Let's fix some of these values. Let's see if we can shave off a few characters with these pixel values. I mean, other than going to Q, I don't see any obvious ones. Let's try it. Let's see what happens when we go to Q. 4, 5, 6. Okay, that looks pretty good. No, too much? 7, 6. No, we need more. There we go. Seems decent. Let's hit submit. Let's not go too far so we don't know what's wrong, you know? Yeah. See, we're at 99.9. 79. Yeah, that's not good. 170 pixels is better than, let's hit submit here. .9. Wow. Really doesn't like it. See, and the diff looks the same, but we put it back, and it's happy. I honestly don't see a difference, but I don't know if I can get away from the pixels here. All right, so, but let's think about this. The element, how tall is it? Is it 50 pixels tall, maybe? If I had to guess. So what if we do percent? 25, 26, 27, 28. Right? Let's see what happens with that. If it's off, I'll change it. But if I can get away with it, I can save quite a few characters. 99.9. Yep. Let's see what 29 looks like. Yeah, 29 is not going to work. Wow, this is really not liking it. Okay. I'm just not going to fight it anymore. Someone else is probably going to have a... yeah, I'm still learning. Like, I've picked up VW, but I need to learn more translations. What's the word for that? Where you're turned, like when you're changing funds into another currency. You know what I'm talking about. Oh well, 211 characters. Seems high. I wonder if... Oh yeah, I know what I was going to do. I was going to change this. Oh, but you gotta put plus signs in between everything for it to work. So you can go do something like, you know, like say HTML, right? And then inside this element, you can say BG. Oh, I did margin too, so that wouldn't work. And block shadow. Okay, so if it's only background, and then you can say BG color equals, right? And you can get rid of the quotes if you don't have any spaces. And what you can do is use, oh, maybe you can't use that. Things are looking familiar, but they're mighty broken. Is they put pluses in between all these. Now, oh, I think I know why. That's why it's all broken. Okay, so you see how the pluses don't mess anything up. And we got rid of this. We don't save any characters doing it, but what you save on is... Maybe you can't put that between everything. There's a way. There's a way to do it. I've seen them do it. But you know how hard it is to remember exact syntax sometimes. So that's just something that gets done. And then when you do the BG color and you don't have the quotes because you don't have any spaces and you only have one one element and one property, it is shorter characters than doing the style tag and a selector. It's just how they shave those last couple of characters off. It's crazy. All right, that was fun. Thanks. Bye.